This tool helps you build clear eligibility criteria from the start, so you can avoid collecting studies that do not truly fit your review. Many systematic reviews become confusing before the screening even begins. That usually happens because the eligibility criteria are not clearly defined. We are not going to rush into searching papers. We are going to start from the most important step, which is creating a clean review workspace with one strong research question. If this first step is done properly, the rest of the review becomes much easier. I am now inside the CitedEvidence dashboard. On the left side, I can see different tools like Home, My Library, AI Everything Writer, Proposal and Literature Study, Systematic Review, Manuscript Reviewer, Thesis to Manuscript, PhD Corner, and Data Analysis. For this video, I am focusing only on the Systematic Review section, so I am going to click Systematic Review from the left menu. Once I click it, the Systematic Review workspace opens in the main area. This is where I can create and manage my review projects. On this screen, I can see a project area. Right now, there is a default project showing. This means I have a project folder, but I have not created a systematic review yet. For this demonstration, I will keep it simple and use the default project. In the center of the screen, the tool is telling me to start with one research question. This is very important. CitedEvidence is not asking me to upload papers first or search databases first. It is asking me for a research question first, because the research question controls everything that comes after it: the eligibility criteria, search strings, screening process, and final review. For this demo, I am going to use this research question. In adults with chronic lower back pain, does telehealth-based physiotherapy improve pain and mobility compared with usual in-person care? I like this example because it is clear and practical. It has a population, which is adults with chronic lower back pain. It has an intervention, which is telehealth-based physiotherapy. It has a comparison, which is usual in-person care. And it has outcomes, which are pain and mobility. Now I am going to create the review. I can see a button that says Create Review. Once I enter the question, the Create Review button becomes active. Before I click it, notice that this question is not too broad, like, does physiotherapy help back pain? That would create a messy review. It is also not too narrow, like a very specific 6-week Zoom program in one city. This question is focused, but still searchable. Now I click Create Review. The tool opens the Systematic Review workspace. At the top, I can see the title of my review, based on the research question I entered. On the right side, I can also see the research question, which is useful because it keeps the whole review focused. The first main section I see is eligibility criteria. This is where the real review structure begins. The tool is asking me to define what type of studies should be included and excluded. I can see buttons for population, intervention, comparator, outcome, and study design. These are the core parts of the review question. I am not going to fill all of these out in detail in this first video, because that will be the focus of the next video, but I do want to show that this is the correct next step after creating the review. At this point, I want the viewer to understand something important. Creating the review is not just creating a blank file, it is creating a guided workflow. The tool now knows my research question and it is preparing the next steps around it. Later, I can define criteria, build search strings, search sources like PubMed and Semantic Scholar, manage references, track screening, and generate a Prisma diagram. But all of that starts with one clear research question. On the right side, I can also see sources that may be used later, including PubMed, OpenLX, Archivy, Semantic Scholar, and clinicaltrials.gov. This does not mean I am searching them yet. It just shows that CitedEvidence can help retrieve studies from these sources later in the process. I can also see options like selection filters, Prisma diagram, auto run all steps, export, and next, form search strings. These show that the tool is built like a full systematic review workflow. But before using those features, I need to make sure my eligibility criteria are correct. So to recap this first video, I started inside the CitedEvidence dashboard. I opened the Systematic Review section. I used the default project. I clicked Create Review. I entered one clear research question. In adults with chronic lower back pain, does telehealth-based physiotherapy improve pain and mobility compared with usual in-person care? Then CitedEvidence created a systematic review workspace for me. Now I am ready to define my population, intervention, comparator, outcome, and study design. This is the right way to start because I am not randomly collecting papers. I am building a review with a clear structure from the very beginning. In the next video, I will continue from this exact screen and fill out the eligibility criteria step by step. I will show what to write in the population box, what to write in the intervention box, what to include, what to exclude, and how these criteria help CitedEvidence understand exactly what kind of research belongs in the review. This first step creates the workspace, the next step creates the rules.